Recording.
Are we live?
You're recording?
Okay, I didn't hear it.
No, I saw it.
Okay, tonight, this meeting is now called to order. We have the Pledge of Allegiance, Mayor DeMarco.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's switch. It wasn't crazy. We have a roll call, please.
Yes. Mr. Bacon.
Here.
Mr. DeCrosta.
Here.
Mr. Lawrence.
Present.
Miss Lewis. Miss Martin.
Present.
Mr. Thielacker.
Here.
He is online. We did not hear you speak, but
Can you hear me now?
yes,
All right, I'm here. Yep.
he is online. President Baoki.
Present.
Mayor DeMarco. Stephen Corbel.
Here.
Kevin Brett.
Present.
Chief Williams. And myself, Ms. Juan.
Okay, we're going to take things just a bit out of order. The president's report will be later on on the agenda. May we have the mayor's report, Mayor DeMarco?
Thank you, President Baoki. I have just a couple of things to report. First of all, I wanted to express thanks and appreciation to many volunteers that contribute to our community, and in particular, I'd like to thank Becky Flink and the large team of people from the LGBTQ plus community and their allies who made the Pride Picnic such a success in spite of the downpour that fell in the middle of it. And I also want to thank Pat Lanigan and the entire community day team for marking the 250th anniversary of America. We had a lot of people over the course of a very hot, steamy day, and many volunteers, including our police, our public works crew, and the WWIMS people who took care of all of us for the day. The business directory will be hosted on a public-facing Rotary website, which is under development, and we will support its ongoing maintenance of that location through ads, as we had done in the form of print version years ago. I wanted to let you know that United States Steel Recon held a briefing for elected officials in Road Bistro on last Wednesday, which I attended because we're in the airshed. They're holding a community briefing tomorrow, the 16th at Carnegie One Library in Braddock from 3 o'clock to 7. And these are drop-in times where they have a number of stations where people can go and see the different things that are going on. I do have a fact sheet. If any of you are interested, I'd be happy to distribute that to you in more detail. The oscillations between warm weather and downpours is an interesting experience. We are, I think, looking at updating our climate action plan. Part of that will include a microgrid study with Duquesne Light, using our borough as a pilot location. And we will be having a meeting on August 23rd with the borough manager and whoever on borough property would like to participate, so that we can be on one page as we scope out this project with Duquesne Light. And finally, September 11th, is the 25th commemoration of 9/11, and we will be holding a commemorative ceremony on 9/11 in the Westinghouse Lodge and Park. I will be covering the cost of that out of the honorarium fund. And we do have all three of our service frontline organizations working together to put that on. So please save the date and I hope you're all come. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor DeMarco. Forest Hills Community Alliance, is anyone here? Ms. Dempsey is not here. Is there anyone
I
else?
should update you on that.
Okay,
Both consultants have been hired and are working. Evolve is working on the innovation district up here. The business district group had over 500 surveys returned. Some of them were distributed at Community Day and some of them were distributed at Farmers Market, and they have very good response. They will be compiling that information and they'll be holding a steering committee meeting I believe on the 23rd of August. And we'll be having a market survey, which is in process, and also a meeting on the 23rd next week with the DOT to talk to them about what is possible to change and improve for pedestrian safety in the business district. So round 2 with the DOT coming up. Stay tuned.
thank you, Mayor DeMarco. Manager's report, Ms. Watt?
Yes, so for the manager's report for the period of June 1st to July 10th. In my report, I've highlighted several of the current projects that we have currently within the borough. A few that I'll highlight for the public. One of them is the Avenue D Stormwater Project. The work at Avenues A and B, the Avenues A and B intersection, we understand has been trying for those within the area. We appreciate your patience during this time. The ultimate goal of this project between the intersection of Avenues A and B and Avenue D is to relocate the storm sewer and provide easier access to the sanitary sewer system. An update on that is that the road is down to 1 lane, but should be open to regular traffic by week's end. I did send out a savvy citizen noting the updated schedule and timeline for events, and by the second week in August, that work, including the paving along Avenue B, should be complete, barring whether any complications. Now, another element of my manager's report, and this is for everyone, may be slightly different than manager's reports that you received in the past. Another element I'd like to highlight is a part of our long-term plan achievements. Over the past month, we did work to achieve governance goal number 2. That's increased transparency and tracking for code enforcement actions. Online now, all citizens have the ability to report a code enforcement concern about a property, whether using your information or anonymously. The goals through being able to report these online is accountability. We're able to track them through the code enforcement system. And in addition, you can check a box to receive updates on the case. This is often something that that individuals look for on a complaint, and now you can achieve that. Another element is that in the month of June, we did send out over 20 savvy citizen notifications and increased our subscribers by almost 1%. We've also started a monthly construction updates that'll occur within the first week of the month. Other items of note, we have been working on the AV equipment here in council chambers. We've corrected the HDMI matrix, which is the element that allows you to see the TVs through a plug here on the dais. As you see, that is now functioning, and we can utilize that to ensure that individuals can attend via Zoom and see the recording in progress. Also, for larger scale meetings and invited speakers, they can display their presentations. We also have a quote in progress for updating the audio equipment in the long run to ensure accessibility for all residents. We did have contracted zoning services that were abruptly ended. They was appointed the zoning officer to be me, but I would ask just for patience on the following permits: dumpster pod, zoning, street openings, signs, chicken and beekeeping permits. We are working to solidify processes for those. We've renovated the pool entrance renovation. That booth at the entryway of the pool has been renovated for use and is brought back to life. And at the last meeting, we covered the revised procedure for public committee meetings for the public. If you wish to attend a public committee meeting, they will be posted online under recent news and on the community calendar through Savvy Citizen. Any speakers will need to be registered through the website, and there is a link to do so. And attendees can opt to register. However, it is not necessary. If you do wish to attend an online committee meeting, a registration will only be necessary to obtain the link. On the horizon, things that residents and all should look forward to: the 2027 budget schedule is complete and under review by committee. At the last meeting, the revised roadmap and ordinance with our engineer and solicitor was noted and is currently on display in the borough offices, the roadmap, I should say. And then the next Tree City deadline for submissions is August 14th.
That's it? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Watt. Chief of Police report, Chief Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to remind everyone, now Parkwood Grand photos going in the city, everybody's being forced into Wilkinsburg, so please be patient and you can all get found with one lane on the way down. Careful as well, if you can, we'll be doing that little stop there right at the bar intersection. Secondly, I want to remind everyone that it's that time of year where you see some funding from the state for aggressive drivers and DUI programs. So we are out with road patrols, means you see a little more activity when it comes to traffic enforcement. That will be throughout 24 hours a day. Some of them during daylight hours, some of them during the evening and late hours. So again, some people remember you see some police cars out, the lights on, and fire out the traffic. And I think we're going to be receiving additional funding because we've been a good performer for that particular program. So additional funding. That's all I need.
Thank you, Chief Williams. Solicitor's report, Mr. Purple.
Thank you, Mr. President. No public report this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Purple. Your EMS report, fire report, the public works report, as well as the police stats are available in the SharePoint folder for council. Wilkins Penn Joint Water Authority report. Ms. Braz did provide a report. There was one water line break on June 22nd on Bevington. The Avenue D water main replacement project should be done in a week. And the phase 3 lead line replacement project for Forest Hills is 70% complete. We'll move on to other committee reports. Anything for Connect?
Just one thing, there will be a member meeting on the 23rd on Zoom, which is the research council meeting where people take in project ideas for the coming year. If any of you have project ideas that you would like to share, we can do it at that meeting. You know, anybody will attend that meeting, see either myself or even for this month. They do have a new executive director. She is in place and working now, so Courtney Fairfield.
Thank you, Mayor DeMarco. Alon, anything to report?
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Allegheny County Boroughs Association.
Nothing to report.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. The PA Municipal League.
Nothing to report at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor DeMarco. Turtle Creek COG, we're on hiatus for the summer, so there's nothing to report. Southeast Tax Collection.
Nothing to report.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. And finally, the Tri-Cog Land Bank. Thank you, Mr. Bacon. Okay, we'll get back to the President's report. I have 3 items. I'll start with first one is MS4 stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System and is an umbrella term that refers to our municipal drainage network. Sanitary sewers send wastewater to treatment plants, while storm sewers dump rainwater directly into rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water. Because the storm runoff is not treated, stormwater systems carry pollutants like motor oil, fertilizer, and pet waste directly into the environment. All municipalities are under an Environmental Protection Agency mandate to implement stormwater management programs to reduce pollutants. In terms of MS4 requirements, the total required reduction for Forest Hills is just slightly, almost 115,000 pounds of sediment per year. So far, related projects that were completed at several of our parks are rated for a reduction of 16,000 pounds annually. A project currently out for bid is rated at another 10,000 plus pounds. The total reduction would bring us to roughly 26,312 pounds of sediment per year, or 23% of our mandate. We are also under an Alcosan consent order agreement, which is a legally binding enforceable agreement between the Allegheny County Sanitary Authority, which is Alcosan, and environmental regulatory agencies. Alcosan provides wastewater treatment services for customers throughout Allegheny County. The primary goal of the consent order agreement is to resolve violations of the Federal Clean Water Act by reducing raw sewage overflows into local rivers and streams. The corrective action is to separate our stormwater sewers from our sanitary sewers. For the Alcosan consent order agreement, the borough is roughly 50% complete overall. Historically, Alcosan treated the wastewater, but individual municipalities owned and maintained the connecting sewer pipes, the trunk lines. Through regionalization, Alcosan is transferring ownership of these trunk sewers from the local municipalities to the authority. For the regionalization portion of the consent order agreement, 29 of the 33 line section repairs have been completed, which is about 88%, and all 20 of the manhole repairs have been addressed, which is 100%. Once the current regionalization project is complete, this portion will be 100% complete and ownership transferred to Alcosan. For the source flow reduction portion, that work is all under one contract that is currently starting construction. So the percentage right now is 0, but once it's completed and the post-construction flow monitoring performed, that item is projected to be 100% complete. I bring this up because it's, there's a lot of work that's been going on in the borough, and you see a lot of our streets are being torn up and a lot of work being done on those sewer lines. This work would not have been accomplished so quickly without the professional guidance and recommendations of our engineers from LSSE and our ability to acquire grant funding to offset the construction costs without burdening our residents. Next item, this is for our council members primarily. I just want to reinforce with my colleagues the importance of how we conduct ourselves during meetings. We need to maintain civility, professionalism, and decorum in discussions and debate. Members are reminded to direct comments to the presiding officer and be recognized before speaking. Avoid shouting, interrupting, and making belligerent, slanderous, or disparaging remarks toward fellow members. Finally, when addressing one another, please use Mr. or Mrs. or official titles such as mayor or chief, followed by the last name. And finally, the word tonight is obfuscate. That means to deliberately make something obscure, unclear, or harder to understand. It is frequently used to describe intentionally confusing language, muddying the facts with unnecessary jargon, or concealing the truth. We have heard for months that debris from a storm that occurred on March 13th, 2026, was blocking Watt Lane and preventing access to vehicles, and that the debris delayed restoration of power. Those claims have been disproved with the support of photographic evidence and discussions with persons involved and knowledgeable of the situation. Now, the latest attempt at disparaging council members and public works employees is the false narrative that a fire hydrant was covered in debris and threatened the safety of residents in that area. This latest obfuscation involved photos shown last week where the fire hydrant cannot be seen behind the debris on the side of the road. That doesn't mean the fire hydrant was covered. It's just a photo taken at a convenient angle in an attempt to justify a lie. My president's report on May 20, 2026 contained photos that were taken on the afternoon of March 14. that clearly showed the fire hydrant free of any obstructions. That report with photos is available online under council minutes. This obfuscating does not serve the public interest, and this council will not be swayed by deliberate distortions of the facts. That concludes my president's report. I will move on to public comment. I believe we have several speakers. Who's first? Pardon me. Oh, excuse me. At this, I have to read the disclaimer. Sorry about that. At this time, only residents and taxpayers of the borough of Forest Hills will be permitted to address council on any issue, whether appearing on today's agenda or not. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson to represent them, who may speak for a maximum of 10 minutes. Speakers are asked to use the microphone at the speaker's stand. Clearly state your name and spell it, and state at the address for the record. If you have any documents to share with council members, you may present them to the borough manager now. Council president will determine how those materials will be distributed and viewed for the meeting. Speakers are reminded that council uses these comment periods as opportunities to gather information and not to respond directly to concerns raised. Information gathered will not be discussed at the meeting, but instead will be referred to the council president by the council president to the appropriate committee for review and discussion at the next committee meeting. If it is not a matter for deliberation by a committee, but requires more immediate attention, it will be referred to the borough manager, who will respond by phone and or email within 5 business days following the meeting. You may proceed. Thank you.
Bill Tomasic, 14010 Wood Drive. So in response to what was just said, that is completely false. Nobody ever said that what the Englewood was closed off to the car truck. You can go back, you can look at the pictures that I submitted, you can look at everything in terms of those pictures. On the day of the 14th, neighbors, 3 of us, Don Davis, Kirk Van Kit, we call him, and myself, Bill Tomasic, looked at the situation where debris was on the street. I've submitted pictures, they are part of the record as well. And you're welcome to look to see exactly where that debris was. That debris was on the street, and if it's not covered completely, the fire hydrant, it is surrounding the fire. Donna Medeiros came into this room and attested to the fact that she called, along with others, Duquesne Light. Duquesne Light told her, it's on the record, that they could not string the wires to reserve our power until the borough removed the debris. That's on the record. She stated it right here. Now, we got together and said, what are we gonna do? I gave her Barb Martin's number, which she called. And instead of somebody saying, we'll take care of it, we'll see what we can do, they did nothing. I sent out texts, emails, whatever the case, showing pictures of that debris, which is clearly on the borough street and in the borough right of way, which he just attested to. That's where the fire is, in the borough right of way. Okay, now, unbeknownst to me, he comes up there, and what does he do? He doesn't contact me, call me the complainant. What he does is take pictures. He did not call Duquesne Light. They are the professionals. They are the ones that said that that debris needed to be removed. Again, what did he do? Nothing. Took pictures. All right. The next morning, 3 of us got together and we removed that debris so Duquesne Light could restring those wires. And both, again, Donna Medeiros and myself attested to that fact, that we removed the debris. There was no lying about it. we moved that debris because we got no help from the borough. I bring your attention to this sheet, which all of you have. It shows that there was work done by the borough employees. What were they doing? Where were they working? Obviously in the borough. But where didn't they work? They did not come up the Tanglewood Drive and Watt Lane and remove that debris. And rumor has it that they were told not to. Now, I know these guys, and I know who blocked off the street. The borough employees blocked off that street so that no one could get it out. Again, it's on the record, Donna Medeiros attesting to that, right here in this room, and you can watch. So I'm tired of the people obfuscating, or wait a minute, reportedly saying that there was debris on the street, which is the word he used. What does that mean? Purported debris? If you cannot look at those pictures and understand that that is debris on the borough street, you need to have a little examination. So I'm gonna continue to come back, if he says, use the word obfuscate, I'm not here to do that, I'm here to tell the truth. And I'm gonna continue to tell the truth. All right, whether he likes it or not. All right, when he started this, I told him, you think this though? Because I'm not gonna let it go until this is resolved. We have a situation here where this microphone, which I've asked to have checked out, something done about it, go on Tree City TV and watch it. Go on and watch it. Not only can you not make out the words, all right, but you cannot even use the closed caption. That must be intentional. Thank you, and I will see
That's your
you
time.
again, the obfuscate.
Anyone else? Is there someone else before? Was an invite, you're the invited speaker, Mr. Hyde, but
Sorry, I tried to be nice.
yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Moore. Yeah.
Just take 30 seconds. All right, I'm a professor. Let's take a deep breath. I appreciate the work that everybody is doing. First off, my name is Thomas Corton, THOMAS 14 MORTON. I live at 274 Cascade Road. I see neighbors here, and like I said, I appreciate all the work that is being done. I'm here today to follow up on a phone call that I made several weeks ago regarding a fallen tree that is a borough tree. That is a borough tree, sorry. That is on Washington, but right behind my property. And it's tree split vertically. And I grew up in rural Pennsylvania, and when a tree splits vertically, it is a point of concern. And so I just request three things: that someone from the borough come out and look at this tree. The tree that came down came right into my neighbor's yard, and so it is there. It's been there for several weeks, and so I just request that if at all possible, that sizable tree branch be removed. That's all I request. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have our invited speaker, Mr. Hyde.
My name is Ed Hyde, EDHIDE, and I live at 602 Woodside Road. I'm here as president of Forest Hills Rotary Club, and we are proposing a service project to sand and stain the picnic tables in Cook Point. We view this as a continuation of the project we did in March with other groups in the main department, where we sanded and stained all of the tables there. Those in Cook Park are in poor condition. They have some paint on them that requires being sanded off and so forth, but it's still not much more of a problem. to do. We asked for two things. One is we would like to use the same thing, which last I saw it, it was being stored in the main park storage building. And we'd asked that the shelter not be rented on that day. So not disturbing people would like to use it. So that's our request, and you'll let us know. We appreciate it, consideration.
Okay, Ms. Watt, can you address that?
Yes, Mr. Hyde, I actually, I did respond back to your email. Both of those, the pavilions in question, they were not rented, and they have been, the reservations have been closed for that period of time, so that has been taken care of. I just, when it comes to that in Main Park, that's gonna require some coordination with Public Works. So I just wanted to make sure there's nothing else you needed besides what you've requested, just access to the staying at Main Park, is that correct?
That's all.
Okay, perfect.
And I had left them to mention when we would like to do it, which would be July 24th.
Yes, and so the pavilions are not available the 23rd or the 24th to allow the stage to dry for you. And then I have your volunteer waivers for the individuals that'll be working in the park.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay, thank you. If there is no other speakers, we'll move on to the committee reports. Operations and Policy, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to approve the minutes from the June 2nd, 2026 agenda setting meeting and the June 17th, 2026 council meeting.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? May we have a voice vote, please? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. President. On the general report, I have almost nothing. Our manager in the report advised you to provide wording for the trial period of the new committee meetings. If available, was passed out last week at the agenda meeting. The only other thing is we talked, I think I've mentioned this before, but we are requesting from finance to the budget money for an intern for the January term. Probably a master's degree person in HR. The reason for this is a dovetails with what manager brought up. We do not have a lot of approved policies here. We've done about 4 or 5 in the last year and a half. Council's approved them. But prior to that, things were done informally. When Mr. Morris left, he gave me 2 thumb drives with policies going back to the year 2000. They probably cover very important issues, but they are no longer valid, and God knows what they talk about. So we would like someone to come in and collate that. These are the issues you should have policies for. And they could do some preliminary research when we do policies like this. Why waste your time? See what else somebody else has done. And then next spring, as a council, begin looking about cleaning up on communications policy and our personnel handbook, which basically you don't have. I have nothing else to report, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Finance Committee, Mr. Thielacker.
He actually has some communication issues.
Okay.
And so he asked me.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, would you?
The finance report for
Thank
him. Other than a motion to approve the payment of bills for the month of June. In the following amounts: general fund, $331,016.43. Sewer fund, $487,324.64. Fire protection, $20,092.65. Road improvement, $12,256.95. And liquid fuels, $8,410.61.
Any questions or comments?
Second.
Thank you. I jumped the gun there. Any questions or comments? Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bacon,
Yes.
Mr. Acosta,
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Thielacker. I don't know if we'll be able to get your vote via here or not. Okay. And then President Bayoki.
Yes. Motion carries. Is there any?
No other report. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Borough property, Mr. Bacon.
Thank you, Mr. President. First on the agenda, the motion to advertise the removal of equipment located at Cliffwood Park, located at 12 Marwood Avenue. The associated ordinance number 1128 to cease operations at said park. Need to read the ordinance title. But there's further ordinance title before we can.
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments?
And I will probably extend comment on this, that this is just a motion to advertise. We are not fully committed to this yet. It is a part that probably I would bet nobody in this room actually knows where it is. It was way outside of the council who have gone and visited it specifically for this. It is very out of the way, difficult to access, sees very little of any usage. And we're looking to basically streamline budget and public works operations. This is, however, not a done deal. If people feel extremely strongly about this, we welcome them to kind of give us feedback. That's part of the purpose of advertising and taking sort of slow route to do this. That said, if you wish to go visit, go check it out at the end of Marwood, which is up in the part of the borough above kind of Domino's and Jody B's in that plaza. They need to make a sharp turn when done. But go check it out if you like, and there always is the opportunity to revisit this in the future. Should we have great funds or things or a change in favor demographic usage.
Anyone else? We have a voice vote, please. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, I have a motion to authorize the environmental development council and the volunteers to construct a chimney sweep tower to Forest Hills Borough Park through a program with the Pennsylvania Game Commission.
Awesome, that.
Questions or comments? You seconded?
Second.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Further commentary on this, there's no cost to the borough. This is being paid for by state gaming funds. And big thanks to the BAC and particularly the Birdtown committee or subcommittee for organizing this. It is a standard structure, and if you'd like to see a similar one, there's one at the waterfront by the old steel exhibit there.
Just a point of correction, there is no Birdtown subcommittee, but there is a committee of volunteers that are working with the Environmental Advisory Council.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Can we have a voice vote, please? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
For the general report, we will be having our next borough property meeting as a public committee meeting. There will be details to follow as far as how to attend that. And we just to check, Mr. Brett, is there any new information for borough property you'd like to report? Nothing additional. Thank you, this borough property, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bacon. Planning and zoning, Ms. Lewis.
There are no motions this evening, just to acknowledge that at our last meeting, we appointed our borough manager to be our zoning officer. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lewis. Public Works, Ms. Martin.
Thank you, President Biogi. I have a motion to move to reject all bids received for contract number 26-S3 for the fire department grinder pump installation project to install two individual grinder pump stations
and appurtenances, and authorize the advertisement of revised bid specifications for the contract.
Second.
Questions or comments? Mr. Bacon?
I was wondering, were these well above the threshold?
It was over $100,000. We appropriated, I think, something like 40,000.
Approximately.
Anyone else? Can we have a voice vote, please? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Second motion is move to approve a multi-year preventative maintenance contract with Cummins Cummins Incorporated for the period of 2026 to 2023, and a total of $2,826.65 for preventative maintenance of the generator located at the municipal building, 4400 Greensburg Pike.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I will just note that's for the period of 2026 to 2030 for the record. And roll call vote?
I have a question. The amount seems rather low. That's for all those years?
That is for all of those years. Yes, it is.
Okay, pretty impressive. We have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bacon,
Yes.
Mr. DeCosta,
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
and we will skip Mr. Thielacker unless you are available, Tom. And President Baoki.
Yes. Motion carries.
There's nothing for the general report, and that is my committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Public safety, Mr. DeCross.
No motions tonight, just continue to work on various issues like traffic calming and such, those will be some decisions to make soon, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeCross. We have no old business. Under new business, we have a resolution on the table. It's resolution number 1305, requesting a multimodal transportation fund grant in the amount of $110,000 to be used for the Ardmore Boulevard Pedestrian Improvements Project. We have a motion.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
You got it, Barb.
I'll go with first.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Yeah, could you just review briefly, summarize what this is exactly?
Yeah, so this was originally a part of a grant application for the Greenways Trails and Recreation Program through the DCNR. We have given feedback from the DCNR. We have revised the original scope of work. We have actually decided not to revise the original scope of work and keep the same scope of work. This project is the Ardmore Boulevard Pedestrian Improvement Project. As a part of that, lighting will be added from approximately Fillmore to Newport. And those are bollard style lights. So and I will refer to Mr. Brett if I'm not getting this completely, as you started the project on the original opinion of probable cost. But this will not only provide the lighting for this stretch of the roadway, but also a physical barrier between the roadway and the sidewalk.
Okay. Mr. Bacon?
To add on just a little more than we covered this, part of the reason we're switching from the DCNR was that if we had gone with that route, it would have been for this, but only covered within the part of Ardmore alongside a park. So by doing this, we're able to have the whole scope in one project.
Anyone else? Ms. Martin?
Thank you, President Bailey. I just wanted to mention that this is something we've wanted. It's mentioned in the comprehensive plan, the active transportation plan, and the active transportation plan. Thank you. I asked Mayor DeMarco for help, and then I forgot, but I did want to mention that. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, can we have a voice vote, please? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, our next scheduled meeting is our agenda setting meeting, which is Tuesday, August the 4th. And the council meeting will be Wednesday, August 19th. Unless there are any objections, this meeting will be adjourned. Hearing none, meeting is now adjourned.